Hey, what's up, guys? We got ourselves some new drama happening on YouTube between two of the biggest creators in the scam exposing space, which is actually a very small space. There are very few creators who even get into the business of going after frauds and scammers and different things like that. And the reason why is because you have a very high likelihood of facing a lawsuit or getting sued or some type of frivolous lawsuit, which is why very people do it. But regardless, you have Coffeezilla, and he's basically once again calling out Spencer Cornelia. For those who don't remember, this actually happened like 2 years ago. Basically, what happened was all of the big finance YouTubers, Andre Jig, Graham Stephan, me, Kevin, I think the guy's name is Minority Mindset. I don't know his name. Jasper Sink is his name, and Erica Kohlberg and Creators Agency. All of these finance YouTubers got implicated basically and called out and just absolutely trashed by the finance community because they promoted FTX on their channels, and they all got anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a month in sponsorship money to promote that garbage on their channel. FTX went bankrupt. A lot of people lost money. Sam Bankman-Fried became one of the biggest fraudsters in American history. And Spencer Cornelia actually made a video, which is now deleted now, but he made a video basically defending those people. He defended all of those big YouTubers who were you know accused of promoting FTX, which we all know that they did. And Coffeezilla was not very happy about that. Oh, let me say one more thing. The other part to it too is a lot of people were pointing out that they believe that a big reason why Spencer was defending those YouTubers is because he was friends with them. There are pictures online of Spencer Cornelia playing cards with Jeremy LaFave and me, Kevin, and he's done collabs with Andre Jig and Graham Stephan and people like that. So that was pointed out. And so what happened was Coffeezilla took the righteous pathway, which everybody expected him to do. He called those people out. I think the name of the video is "Sorry You're Bankrupt" or something. He basically called them out for promoting FTX and then getting sued for it. Spencer took the other side and defended all of those people, turned into a whole huge thing, a lot of backlash. Spencer lost a lot of subscribers, blah, blah, blah. And now we find ourselves in somewhat of a similar situation. And I think, unfortunately for Spencer, one, he keeps making the same mistake, which I'm going to give respectful criticism here because me and Spencer are not enemies. I have no issue with him. I actually think that Spencer is a good guy. I do not think he's a bad guy. But I do want to give my fair criticism and also break down the drama to you guys of what's happening. So first off, Coffeezilla has a second channel, which I love that he did this. I think this was brilliant that he did this. I'm so glad he's doing this because at the end of the day, it gives him extra revenue for all the hard work that he's doing. He's getting a crap ton of views. He's getting more views on every video than he has subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. And it's basically a non-edited, non-well-edited channel where he's just able to pump out quick videos and just give his opinion on stuff, which we love because I think Coffeezilla is starting to realize, yes, quality on YouTube is important, but once you become an established personality and you have the credibility and you've built the goodwill that Coffeezilla has built, now you can basically start a channel and just start talking and just start giving your opinion on stuff, and people will watch because you've built up that credibility and you've become that household name that people want to hear from. When it comes to people who watch YouTube, especially in finance, Coffeezilla is a household name in the finance YouTube community, and I'm so glad he did this. But now that he did this, he responded to Spencer because here's what Spencer did. There's this guy named Noir Trades, and Coffeezilla actually called that guy out like 3 years ago or something like that. And Coffeezilla already exposed that guy and brought the receipts. And now Spencer, I guess for whatever reason, I don't even know why he did this, but Spencer randomly met up with this guy in person and actually did an interview with him. And Coffeezilla did a great job pointing out that, Spencer, you didn't really dig deep enough in this interview. Like, this guy kind of spun you all through the interview. Like, and I think Coffeezilla's criticism of Spencer is very valid, which is basically, hey, man, if you're going to go and do an interview with somebody, or better yet, if you're going to talk about what a grifter or whatever is doing, the worst thing you could do is interview them in person and just ask them questions and then just take their word for it. I think Coffeezilla more so has an issue with how the interview went because there wasn't really any pushback. The guy was basically just saying things that Coffeezilla is claiming are lies. Basically, I do show my returns. I do show my accounts. I do show all that. And Coffeezilla basically said, no, you don't. And some of the data that he shows could actually be manipulated. So we have no idea if that's true or not. And I would just say this, Spencer. I think one of my personal biggest criticisms of the interview, because I understand what you're doing, right? Spencer Cornelia is in this phase now, which is not bad necessarily, where he's basically trying to be fair. He's trying to see both sides instead of just completely going after people. He's like, okay, let me meet up with them in person and have a conversation. But I think the mistake Spencer's making is, number one, this guy has huge red flags all over him. If you're going to meet up with somebody in person, you've got to make sure you ask the hard hitting questions, because the way that this guy blew up is basically when he turned 18 years old, I guess he like paid for articles to write about him. And basically there was this claim that he turned like $20,000 into $2 million, like something absolutely insane like that, which all of us know is virtually impossible. There's very few people in history that have ever turned a small amount of money into a huge amount of money through trading or investing. And those types of people who have done crazy things like that, they're all pretty much household names. And we have verifiable proof that these guys actually did that. The problem with this guy is, one, he's 18. Can anybody think of an 18-year-old in history, ever in American history, or not even American history? Can anybody name me an 18-year-old in world history that has ever turned five figures into seven figures? They turned $20,000 into millions of dollars. Can anybody name one that has ever done that? And we have proof. I'm not talking about these guys online who make these claims. I'm talking about actual undeniable proof that somebody did that. Very rarely do we see that. And I think that's one of the major mistakes that Spencer made is, first of all, I don't even know why you would do an interview with a guy like this. I understand you want to get both sides of the coin. You want to be fair. You want to give somebody a chance to respond. But honestly, a guy like this, it doesn't even really take, a whole lot of brain power to figure out that there's a lot of red flags with this guy. Doesn't really take a deep investigation to figure it out. A freaking 18-year-old. Just think about when you were 18. Most of you guys who watch my channel are my age and older. So I'm 29. So there's very few people that are in their 20s that watch my channel. Some of you guys are 25 and all that, but for the most part, it's mostly 30, 40, 50-year-olds who watch my channel. So I want you guys to think back to when you were 18, okay? Think back to you when you were 18, okay? What kind of person were you when you were 18? I can tell you what type of person I was. I was immature, naive. I wasn't even thinking about trading. I'm not saying that there can't be geniuses and child prodigies that are really good at something at a young age. But to be able to turn $20,000 into $2 million at such a young age, it's virtually impossible for a number of different reasons. You see, stock trading, in my opinion, isn't necessarily just about skill or being intelligent or whatever. You have to have maturity. You have to be able to control your emotions. You have to be calculated. You have to be patient. These are typically a lot of the traits that an 18-year-old kid would not have. I think that's the biggest issue that I have. Now, there are plenty of 18-year-old kids who are extremely good at basketball, extremely good at singing, extremely good at making music, extremely good at, science or math or whatever. But that is a completely different ballgame than being good at stock trading, because it takes so many different traits and characteristics. There's so much that goes into being a successful trader and investor. And I think that's one of my biggest criticisms of Spencer even doing this. And, again, when you bring up somebody that Coffeezilla has talked about in the past, which, by the way, Spencer didn't even put this on his channel. Spencer actually let the guy just put the video on his own channel. So this guy put the video on his own channel, which, again, is a bad look for Spencer, because it makes the guy look good. It gives the guy a little bit of credibility, because what he's doing is he's saying Spencer exposes know our trades. And then you see the video, and it's basically the guy just kind of looking good. He looks very good. And Spencer just looks like, just whatever, and it's bad. And you could really tell how messed up it is by looking at the comments, because if you look at Coffeezilla's video, I really think Spencer should take note of this. I really think Spencer should take note of how the people see his credibility. He might not care, but I'm just saying, if I were Spencer, I would take note of this. The fact that this guy commented under Coffeezilla's second channel and said that Spencer guy sold his soul ages ago already. You got to be lost in life to watch this BS. And that comment got 1,300 likes. And then another comment said Spencer lost credibility when he defended his friends peddling a scam and called out coffee like 2 years ago. And this comment gets 1,400 likes. I just think for Spencer, you really got to take note of this. And I would say you got to swallow your pride a little bit and just kind of be willing to admit that, you made a mistake 2 years ago. and you're kind of making the same mistake again. When you get into this scam exposing space, you have to be extremely careful with who you do collabs with and how you move forward, because this can really make or break your career. All you really have when you get into this industry is your credibility, at least in my personal opinion. And so let me just play this last thing. Spencer actually responded to Coffeezilla. I just want to play it like exactly what Spencer said, and then I'm going to react to that. Here we go.
But without further ado, I want to go ahead and get this response from Spencer. I reached out to him, and I said the following. I said, did you film that Noir Trades video? I want to know if he's the filmer, Noir Trades filmed it. Why didn't you release it? And do you think he's legit? Here's what he said.
I filmed it last summer because I had wanted to switch, make a hard pivot into more long-form content. I thought it would be really interesting to sit down with people who had exposed videos made on them just to hear their perspective. Why didn't you release it? I realized pretty quickly that my audience didn't care.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Spencer. I'm just being honest with you. Again, I think Spencer's a good guy. I don't think he's a bad guy, but Spencer, I think you're making a huge mistake. I do not think it's a good idea to sit down with people who have been exposed in the past unless you are going to really challenge them in the interview. There's nothing wrong with being neutral and not taking a side and not trying to do a gotcha and go after them. There's no issue with that. But if you're going to do that, I think you got to ask the really hard-hitting questions. And at the end of the day, you got to force these guys to show proof. If this guy's really this good, I would honestly tell him, let me see your phone right now. Let me see your phone. Let me go to whatever account you trade in, and let me go to your all-time returns, and let's put it in the camera right now. Let's go through your history and look at all your transactions, your trades, since you're 100% transparent and you're legit and you've never done bad and all this other stuff. Because here's the deal. When it comes to people like, some of the greats, Warren Buffett, Stanley Druckenmiller, all these other people, we know that these guys have very rarely had down years, and we can actually see how they've done investing-wise. Even Kathy Wood has to show her trades and what she's doing. Now, she makes some very questionable trades, but at the very least, we can see it. And I think that's the main issue here.
For this kind of content, and I released a couple videos and decided not to release his. There was one element that had me a little worried, which is he claims to own and live in this mansion in LA. I did not find any proof that he owned it. He was going to send me the deed, to which he never did. That could be miscommunication, I don't know, but upon further research, it didn't seem that he owned it. That had me a little hesitant, because if he was willing to lie about that fact, which doesn't really have any effect on his brand of day trading, I was a little concerned that there could be other things he was lying about. The question, do you think he's legit? I think he's legit based on everything I saw. I saw accounts. I saw his students who were making money. They claimed they were with him for a couple years. They showed their accounts.
No!
They preached about how successful.
Bro, do you guys see Coffeezilla's face at the bottom? He is so disappointed. This is sad. I'm just saying, Spencer, I think this should really be a wake-up call. I mean, this is like the biggest guy in the space that, we're in. This. Honestly, I've said this. Coffeezilla is actually the biggest finance channel. I know he's not really a finance channel. He goes after people in finance, but he gets the most views. This is the big dog in finance YouTube. A lot of people in finance YouTube watch this guy, and when this guy is looking at your response and going, no, Spencer, no, I just feel like, Spencer, there has to be a little bit of reflection. And I just want to make it clear, Spencer, I'm rooting for you. I like you. You're actually one of my favorite YouTubers. I've watched you for a long time. I really enjoy your videos. That's why it's so hard to see you make these mistakes constantly. And, even see people like Coffeezilla have no choice but to kind of call you out, because it's just what are you doing? It's not a good idea. I understand where you're coming from. And I understand at the end of the day, your intentions are good. But, bro, you have 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. You have a huge platform. You are a huge name in finance YouTube for some of the great work that you've done. Don't completely lose all that credibility because, after you got sued by a fake guru and he significantly hurt you financially, which I'm very sorry about that. Now, all of a sudden, you want to do this whole kumbaya thing and start doing interviews with all these people who have been previously exposed. It's such a terrible idea. Unfortunately, Spencer, you're not going to be able to rebrand. You're not. I see what you're trying to do. And I remember when you came on my channel, and thank you for doing that. That video got really good views for my channel. I appreciate that. But when you came on my channel, you talked about this, how you kind of wanted to rebrand a little bit and pivot a little bit because you learned so much from that lawsuit that you suffered from Derek Moneyberg, I think his name is. And I get that, Spencer, but you're not really going to be able to change your brand, because this is who you are. You've already branded yourself as this person. This is who you've been for years. This is the person you made yourself out to be. It's going to be extremely hard for you to just randomly pivot, and now you're just a neutral guy who just, you know, does interviews with people now and tries to get their side of the story, and that's just not your path, man. It's just not. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. And again, if you want to go that route, at least interview, you know, just regular people in finance who don't have these, you know, sketchy red flags behind them. You know, don't interview people who previously got exposed. It's just going to make it worse. And then I really feel like that guy kind of played you a little bit, because not only did you do that interview with him, but he put the video on his channel, and then he put Coffeezilla in, and it's like, oh God, like, it's like, you know, when you put that name and it's a guy that he called out in the past, you know you're gonna get a response. So it's like, come on, man, let's see what Coffeezilla has to say.
Successful he was as a trader, and in turn made them as successful as a trader. My buddy who was with me was looking for my blind spots, and we didn't find anything to indicate he wasn't legit as a trader.
You've got to be more skeptical of these people. So yeah, that's his explanation. Basically, the only like catch he found him in was that like he didn't own the LA mansion or whatever, Miami, whatever it was, that place he was staying. Which I'm not surprised Spencer found that part out, because I think he's like, that real estate is kind of his thing. I think I would argue though that that's the reason that if you're not like really into stock trading, or you haven't seen day traders before and you haven't talked about a lot of day traders, you're not necessarily going to be able to find out what makes them legit or not. Anyway, I think the idea of a 20-year-old day trader millionaire is absurd on its face. And when they're selling a course, it's not absurd. It's just, you know what they're doing. They're faking it so they can sell a course. So I think this idea of like, oh, I will just assume this guy is legit unless I catch him in the act, when all you're going to see is 10 minutes of trading. I don't know how much trading he actually saw. They say in the video it's 10 minutes. Maybe it was more. He says he saw statements. I don't know how much he saw. But I think that's absurd that you think.
Yeah. Again, Spencer, like I said, I think the biggest issue is, you know, he probably showed you a few things here and there, and, you know, whatever his little tricks are, you got to understand, these guys are good at what they do. Just like you, Spencer, you're good at exposing people, and Coffeezilla's good at exposing people. These guys are good at talking their way out of stuff and hiding stuff. You just got to go deeper if you're going to do that. And also the other issue I have is, you're claiming that I saw this and I saw that. Well, why wasn't that in the video? If you saw bank statements and everything else, what you should do is, if you really saw that, he shouldn't be showing you this in private. He should be putting this in the video so everybody can see, because there are a lot of smart people that watch YouTube, and there are some very intelligent people in the comments who might be able to see things or catch things that maybe you might not have caught. So that's the other big red flag, is because when I watched that video on that guy's channel, I didn't see any bank statements. I didn't see any trade, you know, I didn't see anything, nothing. It was just a whole lot of talking and a whole lot of nothing. So, you know, it's problematic. Let's keep watching.
You're going to be able to catch them, and you should assume they're innocent and like legit when you have them on the record lying about other things.
I should add that the only real way to know if someone is legit or not is to see tax returns, which I have not seen.
I would say that these like people who go investigate people's lives like in person, if you're going to do that type of content, just make sure that you're able to sniff out when you're being thrown BS. Make sure you actually pose hard questions, because now what I have to do is defend this ridiculous like piece that Noir Trades has put on his channel, where he's using an exposed YouTuber to basically promote his brand, when it is obvious with a little bit of Googling that he's lying at multiple parts in this interview. So all in all, I don't think that's ultimately a good look for Spencer. I don't think it's a good look for Noir Trades, because he didn't think I was going to do this video. He thought Coffeezilla, you know, they don't do videos about fake gurus anymore, but he was wrong. And I'm here to expose this man for the garbage that he's peddling. You guys are paying him $300,000 a month for signals that could be coming from anywhere. They could be stolen. I also just wanted to say really quick that Spencer has done videos in the past.
Okay, wait a second. How much is this guy charging? Did y'all just hear what? Oh, wait, did I just hear that right? Wait a minute. How much? There's no.
So my name is Nord.
Hold on.
You.
Hold on. How much? Okay, he's not charging. Okay, I think Coffeezilla was just, you know, kind of exaggerating. Okay, so this guy's charging. Well, this is still a lot to charge. This guy is charging $199 a month, He's got a access to the algorithm membership, whatever the heck that is. $49 a month, $224 a month. And then you get access to all this crap. Man, I hate people that sell these courses. I really think YouTube should ban it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. The way I see it is YouTube controls this platform, right? YouTube already bans so many people for, if you say anything that YouTube considers too conspiratorial, like conspiracy theories or certain things that violate YouTube's guidelines, they ban you, but they don't ban fake gurus or just absolute clowns for selling these garbage courses with no finance background. I really think YouTube should be like, hey, according to they should update their terms of service or whatever. And they should be like, hey, we've determined that your channel fits the criteria of a finance channel. Do you have any background? No? Okay, well, you can't peddle your courses and your links under the description of our video of the videos on our platform. You're gonna have to go somewhere else with that. You do that here, you're banned. I'm not joking, guys. I really think they should do that. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. People are just getting swindled left and right by these clown courses, by these kids who don't even have a finance background. It's really unfortunate. So, yeah. Anyway, I think this video has been long enough. Well, I guess it's long enough. We might as well finish the rest of the Coffeezilla video. Let's hear what the rest of what he got to say.
Past that I've really enjoyed on his main channel. Usually it's when he doesn't go see the people in person. I think he's able to look at these things a little more objectively. I think when it comes.
So here's what Coffeezilla is trying to say, and he's saying this in a nice way because him and Spencer are actually friends. Like, they actually have each other's number and stuff. Spencer told me that when he came on my channel. Basically, what Coffeezilla is saying is, look, dude, you're not good at this. This is the nice way of him saying this, but he's saying, look, dude, that's not your strong suit. The in-person meetups are not your strong suit. Stick to what you do. Do your research in the background, make a video on it, and keep it moving. That's what you're good at. When you do these in-person meetups, it's not a good look. It makes you look bad, and it's going to continuously have your followers start to be a lot more skeptical of you, which I don't want to see because, again, I think Spencer's a good guy. I really do. I just think, man, you make a lot of mistakes, man. I think you really do. And also I think that lawsuit really kind of broke you, if I could be honest, which I'm not blaming him for that. If I got sued for that amount of money and I had to cough up $300,000 or whatever Spencer said, I'd probably be broken too. Like, well, I don't know. I'm kind of a fighter, but I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't know. But the bottom line is, it's perfectly understandable why he's broken, but it's still not a good look to do this. And you don't want to tarnish your brand, as a way of overreacting to the fact that you got sued and that whole sad experience, which I'm very sorry for you that happened, but yeah.
Comes to people that he sees in person or he's friends with, I think there's like a bit of a smokescreen that gets created and he can't really, I think it's a little tougher for him to see through it. I'll leave it at that. I mean, I'm just going to say, like, he makes good videos when he's not meeting these people. I think all of a sudden when Spencer meets them.
Yeah, see, he's literally saying exactly what I just said. He's just saying it in a much nicer way, but he's basically saying Spencer's not good at the in-person meetups.
I don't know what happens. I mean, there's nothing else I can say other than that. I don't really know. It's kind of awkward for me to make this video because Spencer and I text here and there. We talk. But you make a video like this, what am I supposed to do? I got to talk about it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, that's my criticism. That's today's video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.